biomedical waste and health hazards are very well written. Color coding also. What I wanted to basically discuss is that some places you have completely left off, like um, about the color coding and all you've written. Yours is relatively like, you've taken what we will be talking about. Yes, injection safety is important for the recipient, provider, and community. Now, I actually gave this question because this has come and I wanted you to search across. Did you make any attempt to search? Like, because the answer that you have written, it's logical, no doubt, but you have missed certain important things. See, there are three terms which are there in that question. If you see, injection safety is important for the recipient, provider, and community. So you have to talk in the three terms. First is injection safety. So there is a definition, which is not basically a definition, an explanation. What does safe injection mean? So safe injection means the procedure of injecting somebody which is safe, does not harm the recipient, does not expose the provider or the health worker to any risk or avoidable risk, any risk which could have been avoided, and it does not result in waste which is dangerous for the community. So there are three aspects, right? As I said, recipient, provider, or the health worker, and the community. So for the recipient, it will not be it will not harm the recipient. Second, it will not lead to any infection which can or any avoidable risk for the provider, health worker, or the doctor, or any provider who is giving the injection. And third is that it should not result in such a waste where it could risk the community at large. Okay, so these are the three key points which comprise a safe injection practice. Now, safe injection, this is only, you are going to translate it down to the like this particular thing you need to write in a 5 marks form. So A, B, C. I'll share that also with you. Just give me a minute. That file. I've actually taken this from the immunization handbook for medical officers. So obviously I would not expect you students to go through the book or whatever, but I'm showing you the exact page where you will.
I searched in Park, but there was no
Yes,
in.
it is not there. That is the reason. You see, these are all related, right? It is about biomedical waste, and everything will not be there in Park. Somewhere, when such question comes and you are at a false position, you do not know. Obviously, you have done the best thing is applying logic. But first, the one important thing which I want you to keep in mind, this is just an example question. You have to read the question carefully. The leads are there in the question itself. It is given 3 points: recipient, provider, and the community. So you have
I
to frame
wrote
your
that
answer in those.
it must be like safe for the recipient and no healthcare infections or other infection for the provider and for the garbage which might affect the
No,
scavenger.
you have indeed written it that way. I mean, you have written the correct thing. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that I want you, take the lead from the question. It's just how to write an answer. It's all there. Probably if you write for the recipient, why injection safety is important for the recipient, you give a heading like for the recipient. Then
Like
you write
three
that.
headings for recipient, for the provider, and for
Yes, yes, yes. What you've written improper administration, improper disposal, improper segregation. You have put in your, I mean, you just need to refine. You're using logic, which is correct. And since there is an answer, that is the reason why I wanted to share that, concept, I mean, that particular part with you.
yes.
Ma'am.
Yes, so it's written there clearly. It's from the immunization handbook for medical officers where it's written a safe injection is one that does not harm and all. Okay. And it's written also, the context is also there: infection, transmission, unsafe practices. Just read, it's just that one image. And there's a pictorial representation, see, where it says what are the ill effects.
Ma'am.
If you mention the ill effects, you can say that this can be avoided. That's it.
Ma'am, can
Yes.
I interrupt for a second?
Yes, sure, Polish.
Is this the same question you were talking about? You talking to me about correction?
Yes, this is one of your point. Actually, this feedback was for all because nobody has attempted this. So, and nobody means you have not attempted, and I think Shoreen and Ishita has not given me the answer sheets at all. So this was one for you also, Porish. I hope you did not miss any part of it. So just this image is enough for you to frame the answer. The rest is logic.
Which number question is it?
I don't recall. It's probably there in the explain why. The section of
Uh, okay, wait 1 second, ma'am.
I have given questions separately, right? Long questions, short
Yes, you
questions.
have.
Yes, so explain why it's there and explain why.
Okay, I found it.
The last one, nobody attempted. The another point is that yes, this is specifically for Paurush because what Shrinjan has done is that he has basically kept my slides as a like for his future note purpose. So I cannot really comment that way. But what Paurush has done is that you have written you have not mentioned like what are the types of biomedical waste. I think this was the question, what the different types of name different types of biomedical waste generated in your hospital. So what I want or what you want, if you look in the biomedical waste management rules, the parent rule book which I sent, the one that is in 2016, I sent along with the assignment. There it is strictly written types of waste, so nobody goes to write what you have learned in your micro, that radioactive waste, general waste, those are not, they are not types of biomedical waste. Types of biomedical waste will be strictly the headings mentioned or the names mentioned under category yellow A2, A2E, I mean A2H, sorry, A2H, and the three other boxes, I mean red, blue, and white. So like metallic sharps or sharps and glass and metallic implants, that will be a type of waste. Then for A to H, try to remember the name by the mnemonic that I gave. A, human anatomical waste, animal anatomical waste. C is like, don't remember cotton, soiled waste. D, don't write drugs, expired and discarded drugs. So the name proper. Okay, for E, it's chemical waste. For F, it is chemical liquid waste. For G, it is linen. I think I just don't remember linen and contaminated waste. There's something I just can't recall right now. It's there in my presentation. It's there in that book, that
Ma'am.
PDF that I sent. And H is microbiological laboratory and biotechnology waste probably.
Okay, ma'am.
I want that. And for H, it is recyclable waste. You can write recyclable plastic or rubber, whatever, but it should be the contaminated recyclable waste. So that should be there proper. What you've done is that you've grouped them. I have your sheet here with me, actually. That's the reason you've grouped them together. So that is one. Second is what you have gone wrong, or I have seen many students going wrong, is that in category it is the yellow category, red category, white category, blue category. You do not write waste bin. It is not a dustbin, or you don't write waste bin. It is a
Okay.
bin or a bag or a container. And there are specific things. For blue, there is no blue bag. It is always a blue container, either a blue container or a cardboard box with a blue marking. So usually a cardboard box is something either it's white or brown in color, but there is some blue tape. It's the images are all there in that document.
Okay, ma'am.
And in reality, I want you to, whenever you have your ward rotations or duties, go and keep an eye for that waste bins, how things are happening, how the nurses are doing everything. Just keep a watch, or you can go directly and ask them also. But see properly, because knowledge is one side and practice also on the other side. So what they are actually doing, if you see that, you will remember much better. Or if you really look how the blue bin is, you can basically explain better. You can recall it's a bin or a bag. There is not a blue bag, there is no blue bag. And you do not write waste bin. You've written throughout your answer waste bin. I will return this answer sheet to you. Okay, so you've written waste bin, so you either write it's a bag or a bin or a container. So container is for yellow. Mostly it's a yellow container. I've showed that image, right? Yellow container where you stored that fluid, or the fluid basically. And again, there are some attributes. For white, it is translucent. So translucent, leak proof, puncture proof, tamper proof. Nobody can, that sharps, the broken needles, they won't pierce through. So these terms are used. For yellow, again, yellow or red, it will be non-chlorinated plastic bag or bin or container. So just do not, try to read carefully. That's what I want you to say. See, I am teaching this chapter at a very slow pace. Actually, we've started with a slow pace, and that is the reason why I'm started, because I am relatively slower than the other teachers, or the other topics that other teachers will be assigned and they will be taking. That will be more fast and elaborate and vast. So they will be really teaching at a quicker pace than me. So what I want you to say is that try to assimilate all the words. No word, you do not ignore any word as lightly, or replace it with some other word, because each word has their own meaning. So you mentioned the word leak proof, tamper proof, puncture proof. Even for blue cardboard box or blue container, it can be a blue container also, okay, and a blue card, but there is no pin or bag for blue color. So it is always a puncture proof, leak proof. It is not translucent anymore. For white, it has to be translucent, but for blue, it will be a puncture because you have broken glass. So puncture proof and leak proof. That's it. Okay, so these things, once you go back to that parent document, just see whatever I'm highlighting, and probably will remember better. This is one. A few points I have mentioned separately in his copy, so I will say that. I mean, once you get the sheet back, you can understand. Now, another thing, nobody has answered this probably. Steps involved in biomedical waste management. I think I gave this question, right? What are the health hazards? Briefly describe the process of disposal from generation site to point of disposal of different categories. So the question is, describe the process from generation site. So the first is segregation.
Segregation.
Yes, the first point comes segregation and collection. So
I
it's not
have written
just,
it though. I think so.
just a minute. Oh, Rushi, you said right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yours some points are missing. I'll tell you. If you think logically, you have written segregation, the next point you've written transportation, and the third point you've written is treatment directly. So you're missing certain things. So I just want all of you to take that logical flow, and even there are other things also in other questions which is not biomedical based, but you think logically and you answer. I'll tell you the entire sequence. Okay, the first is segregation and collection. Okay, it's not just segregation, you're collecting. Second is, you have missed out pre-treatment. Now, pre-treatment for selective categories of waste only. Just for blue box, no pre-treatment. For red box, no pre-treatment. It goes directly for autoclaving and all. But for yellow, FGH, for F, it's a separate treatment. Just a minute, I stand back. So first point is segregation and collection. The next point is pre-treatment, as I said. It should be either on-site for specific groups and the rest for highly infectious waste. I'll share this screenshot also. Just give me a minute. The third is intramural transportation and storage. So intramural transportation and storage. So as I said, no point, I mean, the waste is generated in the wards, so that waste needs to be taken and stored in some secluded corner of the hospital or the healthcare facility. It won't be staying in the ward for 48 hours, a minimum, whatever. So it is done, the intramural transportation from different wards, they are done and they are taken to that biomedical waste storage place in that health facility. So that is the next step, is intramural transportation and storage. And the fourth is final is treatment and disposal. So this is the complete sequence. That's what I want to say. I will share this. It's there in that, if you open that biomedical waste management rules. Phone baj raha tha. Biomedical waste management rules, it's there. I'll tell you chapter 2, first page.